When a 200-meter disc appeared over the Forbidden Palace in Beijing, it caused quite a stir. Millions of smartphones turned upwards, Snapchatting and Facebook living the arrival of intelligent life on our planet. And then, the disc left. Ever since then, there have been rumors of individuals being contacted by the aliens. Unemployed individuals. I am one of those individuals. I was on the toilet, fumbling for toilet paper and lamenting my inability to afford anything better than single ply when an alien contacted me telepathically and asked me to be their tour guide. Show up tomorrow at the Great Central Landmark, they said. In return, they would gift me a hunk of platinum mined from an asteroid. When it arrived at the landmark taxi stand, it was in the form of a nondescript Chinese male, wearing sunglasses, a sun hat, a Hawaiian shirt, pink swimming trunks, and a pair of Crocs. The price tags were still on all the items so that he looked like the world's most ambitious shoplifter. People were watching, so to allay suspicions, I said, 你是哪位? Then laughed really loudly and let him into the mall because I hoped that they would think he was a mainland tourist instead of an alien. He asked me how to greet humans. I explained by saying hello and asking how you were was not a bad place to start. After which he sprinted over to the fountain and accosted some expat, yelling in Cantonese, "How are you?" So I ran over, nishing and laughing some more for cover. I explained at length how one does not greet total strangers, and when he got confused, told him he can only greet friends, and that I was his only friend, so woke up. But before I could even ask what it wanted to do, it proceeded to point at an Armani shop, in particular at a handbag covered in blue stones that spelled out "Glory, Glory." Then he sprinted over to the store, apparently because he thought that sprinting from place to place was the norm. Afraid he would steal the bag, I rushed to restrain him. But instead, he just pressed his forehead onto the glass front to stare directly at the purse. On the way, he had removed his sunglasses and thrown it on the floor. I was rather alarmed. I had to explain to him that we do not throw things on the floor, that we have rubbish bins. He asked me where the rubbish went. I told him, into trucks. And then he asked me where the trucks went, to the dump. He was very confused, as apparently he thought that we just threw everything on the floor, just in slow motion and all in one place. I told him we sometimes recycle just as a point of pride, though I never do because fuck that. Before he could defend the rubbish bins, which was very difficult, he began to talk about Hong Kong in very excited terms. Apparently he was a huge fan, and I was very proud of that. As someone who was born in Hong Kong, I do like to think that we are in many ways on the cutting edge of progress and culture. So I asked him if he would like to go to Ozone or to see the peak, but he was very assertive. No, my only friend, I wish to partake of all your museums, as many museums as I can in one day in this, the great city of museums. Fucking hell, I felt so bad for him. I didn't have the heart to tell him that we have decent museums, but he really should have went to New York or to London instead. But he said, my only friend, tell me about this exhibit. And as he pointed to the Armani purse, he said, "Glory, glory, amazing." I tried to tell him it was not a museum and that we ought to hurry. We wanted to see more museums, starting with the ones in Kowloon side, but he said that he was not done at this one and went to the next store where he marveled at a Dolce & Gabbana jacket covered in palm prints. "You humans are truly the masters of textiles," he said, "and these quaint little timekeeping devices, obsolete, yet so well preserved." Apparently he thought the shops were all museums. At which point I suppose it made sense that he came to Hong Kong. I could have told him the truth, but I really, really needed the platinum and was worried he would ask for a refund. So we spent the rest of the day walking all over Central as I bullshitted about stores. And here we have a rare crystal bracelet from the long dead queen, Fangle. He kept pestering me for more information, kept asking me questions. Well, Fangle was a prejudiced leader who believed that only the fair of skin should rule. He loved our musicians too, who performed in the streets, oblivious to the fact that no one stopped to listen aside to throw the occasional coin into their hats. So brave and committed to their art, he said. He really didn't give a shit about the view when we reached the peak either, and was more interested in the various flora, many of which had little tags around them that I never noticed. Even your museums are natural. Amazing. But please, my only friend, can we please go to Canton Road? Well, because I have relatives with friends in Guangzhou who come to Hong Kong to blow absurd amounts of money in Canton Road, I thought he actually meant shopping this time. I was wrong. We had to queue up to get into the Gucci store, which he was more than happy to do, as he said only a set amount of people should ever be in the exhibit at one time. It was then that I remembered and tried to make excuses to leave when someone passed us on the way out with a Gucci bag, and it was clear to see that there was a shirt inside. He tried to warn me to chase after the Tomb Raider. At that point, I had no choice but to tell him the truth. It took a long time to explain the concept of shops and capitalism, and even by the end, he didn't really get it, except to remark that it now made sense that his relatives called Earth a total shithole. It was frankly amazing that they have a word for shithole in their language. At this point, I was fed up and tired from making up stories about clothes I could not afford. So I asked him what he absolutely must see before he left, to which he replied, mating. He said that he had never seen such a myriad of forms, techniques, and varieties as humans do when we mate. When I asked him who told him this, thinking that this guy was seriously conned by some intergalactic travel agent, he assured me he had witnessed it in our documentaries, where 15 people would have sex with one teenage female at the same time. After realizing his documentaries were online gangbangs, I had to apologize and tell him that there would be no mating displays today. At this point, he was so thoroughly frustrated and told me he had been totally ripped off, which I vehemently agreed. I did clarify, however, if the platinum would be waiting for me at home. He said no. I was most dismayed. But then, he reached into his pocket and produced a black cube, 10 centimeters on each side. I wondered what it would be. I asked him several times until he finally smiled and told me, carbon, he said. Wait, like pencil lead? Yes, he said. It has been mined from our own very star, located in another galaxy. It is billions of years old. I am actually breaking a rule, as we are told never to leave anything when we visit the planets of lesser species, because littering is truly awful. But I think you should have it. You are the only person on this planet that now is an object from another galaxy. An object that shall remind you that you are not alone in this universe. And with that, he asked me how I was, and left before I could answer, disappearing without a trace. Since then, I've tried, with no success, to auction off this cube of carbon, repeating almost verbatim what he said, but with even more flourish about galaxies and space and all that. Unfortunately, the most I've been offered for it is about $250. So, I am keeping it in the hopes that one day, like a collector's item, it will finally go up in value.